Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
Also, I was thinking, I'm gonna do a what to watch, but it's always the same every year, ever since I saw this show. So I'm gonna do one thing, and then I'll tell you the stuff that I used to watch that that still bring me nostalgia. It still makes me feel warm inside. Okay, but we're only gonna do one thing. This is the one thing everybody must watch. We must make this a tradition. Drum roll, Smiz. At number 1. Jingle Jangle. Jingle
so
Jangle.
good.
Geronicus Jangle, inventor, toy maker. This, if I had this when I was a child, I would have just been so overcome with joy to have this little girl that, you know, I could see myself in, little granddaughter Journey, and, you know, this curmudgeon of her granddad, you know, who used to be this whimsical, imaginative toy maker who has turned into crustiness. And then similar, you know, the theme is the same, like the Grinch, like, you know, all of those things. He comes around, but the cast, the singing. Okay, Forrest Whitaker, I don't know if he's singing, but Felicia Rashad is in it. You got a Nika Noni Rose. You got, you know, Keegan Michael Key. It is just amazing. The little girl that plays Journey, her name is Madeline Mills. Very cute. But it is big production, all of the things, and I think if you culturally need to, because I grew up, there was nobody black on none of my Christmas nothing, and and it's okay, but it's not. So we should have.
Well, I used to
wait, hold
do
on. I
that
think now
thing.
black people should watch Jingle Jangle.
I agree. I watched it. I loved it. It's an amazing movie. And I think when I was a kid, I used to just imagine characters were black because we didn't have representation. So to me, Rudolph was black because I knew a lot of black men named Rudolph. I didn't know no white Rudolphs when I was a kid. So I'm like, okay. And it made sense because why they racist to him? Because his nose red. Now the other reindeer don't want to mess with him. Something felt wrong about how they did my man Rudolph. And also, low-key, Abominable Snowman. I didn't like the reaction to him was a little too over the top. He didn't want that. He just was misunderstood, you know? So
see, you want to know who my favorite, one of those same kind of, the Heat Miser.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Heat, when that thing come on, I missed the Heat Miser. I was like,
right. He had a little jam, you know what I'm saying? We know how we have bops. I feel you on all that. Nah, I definitely but nah, Jingle Jangle just it hit a sweet spot. I didn't even know I needed it when I watched it. I was just like, oh my God, I found something that didn't exist when I was a kid.
Now one year we did a whole movies that were like the top Christmas movies of all time, like Home Alone. I didn't know that Die Hard was a Christmas, like we got into this whole thing. Like I don't look at those movies like Christmas movies, you know, not even Home Alone and all that.
Oh wow.
I grew up with Miracle on 34th Street.
Definitely a Christmas movie.
Yes. The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, also Loki, Grinch felt black to me.
Did he?
Felt like them white folks was treating him kind of bad. He got a little bitter. He let it get to him too hard. We got to be careful as black folks. You know, sometimes we get a little too bitter. We can justify doing the wrong thing just to ruin everybody else's party. What do they say? The kid that is shut out from the village will burn the whole village down to feel the warmth. It felt like that. He saw the hurt he was doing to the people in Whoville, and his heart grew, and everybody accepted him. And he became the hero of Christmas. But it felt I related to the rejection at the beginning.
You know, Roderick, now that you are mentioning this, we don't ever we needed counseling. I feel like we needed to have some sort of group therapy growing up, but we've never had to talk about our feelings around these things. And now that you're mentioning it, I absolutely see what you're saying. And there was an affinity.
It's weird that we got Wicked. I would love a Grinch. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me his origin story.
You, Roderick, listen. Okay, 2025. We need to commit. No, you're laughing, but I'm serious. I've been watching a lot of TV, you know, and I'm going to be transitioning into talking about the books because a lot of the things that I'm watching are based on the things that I really love, like Lessons in Chemistry. I actually read the book before I watched it, and it's so good. This recent, what is it? It Ends With Us, based on a book. Really well done, by the way. Blake Lively, the TV show on Netflix. But I was like, this book must have been fire. And the subject matter, like it flipped me because I was, you know, about to get all caught up in the romance because it seemed like it was one of those love stories where she's torn between two lovers or whatever. Right. And then the twist on this thing, I was like, wait, what? I didn't see it coming, but it was so masterfully written. To your point, you know, all of these things, Wicked is a public domain work that somebody flipped into something. I'm going to task, we probably shouldn't be talking about, we're going to talk about it because we're going to manifest it. We're going to say it. Let's work on a script this year because our children need something. Yes. And he's green too. I'm going to need him to be brown though. Maybe we can switch it, flip it up.
Something out. Like we make an allegory or some type of something. Like what happened to the Grinch peoples? I don't never see none of them. I got questions about the Who's. You can't trick me. You know what I mean? Like the Who's.
Did they colonize? Did they colonize? Were the Grinch people the original people?
Right. See? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go. It's like when you look at the certain state names and you be like Oklahoma. That don't sound like no name y'all came up with. What happened to the people that came up with it? It's some nice suburbs out here, but was this all here the whole time? You know, it feel like the Whoville might have been named something else first. I'm just saying.
See, this is what I love. I promise you, not just your spirit, which you have Christmas spirit all year round. And by that, I mean, it's just love and giving. You're just a very giving person, but you also spark things. I've read a comment somebody said that you make them think differently about things. And I think that is the greatest gift you can give somebody is to push them out of their comfort zone, push them out of their you know, confirmed way of seeing the world. And you do it with humor, with joy, and with niceness. Very
no
nice
doubt.
person.
I'm not, it's not like being contrarian or like, you know, being a jerk about it. We all should be using our lateral thinking. And I get that from people all the time. People call the show all the time. I'll be like, oh, okay. You know, like I always want to entertain that stuff. But yeah, it's that I just remember when I was a kid just seeing Blackness and stuff because we weren't getting representation. Destro from G.I. Joe was black. Jazz from Transformers was definitely black because I think Scatman Crothers did the voice. So you couldn't tell. I know they just robots, but to me, black robot. You know what I mean? And he played music. So I'm like, him, Soundwave was a boombox. He black. You know, like you had to take it where you could get it because we wasn't getting it a lot. So yeah, I definitely felt that way as a kid.
My favorite movie growing up was It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, that's a good one.
To this day, does it still hit? And I wonder, here's the thing, right? Because we live in a time when everything just feels so you know, there's like no hope. People feel very like divided. And I wonder, maybe I think I'm gonna commit to watching it this season to see if I feel the same as I felt when I was young watching it, because I would watch it every year. You know,
that's a good one because we've gone so far away from that as a society. I feel like a rewatch of it won't. I just wonder if it'll hit the same because now I know. And what I know is that the decency isn't in certain people to where you can just give a speech and everybody goes, you know what? Yeah, we need to get along. We're a nation of laws and rules and we're not supposed to be trying to dominate the other side. We're supposed to be coming together and helping each other. Now I'm like, are we? Are we?
So you think it would go a lot different? Like I am curious, as you're saying that, like what would that look like today? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewatch that.
Like when
This
Michelle
Christmas.
Obama said, when they go low, we go high. That's some miracle stuff. That's some like
Miracle.
old school. That's what we used to believe.
It's a
Like,
wonderful life.
right. That's some.
Okay, so you're saying something right now. So even this notion of a Christmas spirit, because now everybody's so cynical. You gonna
Yeah.
tell your children a white man came down the chimney and bought
Yeah.
these gifts, and like we're not even trying to entertain the fat
Right.
white guy. We're not taking our kids to sit on his lap. Things that we had a memory. Black Santa. If you have a
Yep.
black Santa, here come Megyn Kelly and them mad.
Yep.
Can we have a black Santa for our black children? No, y'all mad about that. You're
Yep.
absolutely right. Like, what would it take? Can we solve this today, Roderick?
Right.
What would it take to reinstill those things? Because it was nice to grow up as a child and believe in things.
And like for the kids, right? Like, because now that I'm older, I know, like, oh, my parents didn't get along with them other parents. Like they was telling their kids something completely different when we was outside the room. But they used to pretend for the sake of the kids. We all was in the same Christmas line at the mall. It wasn't two separate lines. It wasn't a Republican clause and a Democrat clause, or none of it. Was just, this is a tradition. We're all handing it down. But I do wonder, something changed societally. I feel like where people just stopped pretending. They was like, nope, not even in front of the kids. Like, we want people to know we don't like each other. That's more important than the coming together and the seasons of giving and doing these charitable works, which is another part of Christmas, that volunteering, giving away your old toys. Like, that was a big thing. I feel like everybody's so selfish and greedy and angry right now. It's just hard. Like, when you said the spirit of Christmas, the thing that crossed my mind was, now it feels like what the spirit of Christmas is for a lot of people is a very protective energy around the idea of Christmas. Like, don't you say happy holidays.